Okay, Taskmaster versus Deathstroke. This would probably be one of the greatest villain-on-villain fights you could probably have ever crafted. You have Taskmaster, whose only real ability is the fact that he can copy anything that he sees. Anything. And he can copy it up to the point that it requires a superhuman level of skill to do. And he's able to throw things like Bullseye, dodge things like Spider-Man. As long as it doesn't require a superhuman level of ability to do something, he can copy it. So therefore he can't fly or, like shoot lasers out of his eyes. Versus Deathstroke, who, when you read about him, ironically, Deathstroke is enhanced like 30 ways from Sunday. As much as people like to say, Deathstroke is if Batman were a villain. Well, if Batman were to be a villain and were to be enhanced to a level very much like Captain America. Which makes me think, looking back through what Deathstroke can actually do, Deathstroke versus Captain America could be an absolutely ridiculous fight, same as Taskmaster versus Batman. So let's get right into this. When it comes to, I gotta bring up my screen with the 9 abilities on it real quick. When it comes to the 9 abilities, intelligence. You've got Deathstroke, who they say uses 90% of his brain. So he uses 9 times the capacity of the regular human. Versus Taskmaster, who, even though he's trained other supervillains, I don't think he's using like 90% of his brain. I don't think he's using 9 times the thought process anybody else is. So, Deathstroke. Fighting ability. Oh, this is one of those, I know I'll probably see stuff in the comments section. While Deathstroke is ridiculously well trained, he's taking on a guy who can copy the moves of anybody after he sees them, and can recall all of that. If you go to like the Marvel Wiki page, you will find out that just about anybody who does any sort of fighting in the Marvel universe, Taskmaster has actually copied all of their moves. So like Deadpool, Wolverine, Shatterstar, Moon Knight. Yeah, if there's somebody who has a fighting style, Taskmaster has copied it and learned to blend it into his own. And he also knows how to use that knowledge to help make the fight go his own direction. Like, intelligence on one side, fighting ability on the other. Strength. Slade has a strength of 10 men. He's been enhanced by the military. That's speed. Oh, this one. You've got a guy who can dodge bullets on one side versus a guy who's got a near Spider-Man level of agility on the other side. That even said, Spider-Man has tried to catch and dodge bullets, and he's not very good at it. So you've got a guy who's got a near superhuman level of speed versus somebody who has a just above, a just touching metahuman speed. Durability. You've got a human on one side versus someone who has enhanced degenerative abilities. Yeah, essentially on this side for Deathstroke, you've got if Captain America, Wolverine, and Batman were rolled into one villain. I'm thinking Deathstroke would be awesome against Deadpool. That'll be a fight for a later day. So far you've got fighting ability versus intelligence, strength, speed, and durability. And vulnerability. Both these guys tend to wear some level of armor. The one advantage I'll probably give to Taskmaster in this one is very often he's been shown wielding a shield near the same skill level as Captain America. So therefore, if Slade wants to use a gun, you got someone who knows how to use a shield almost as like a second skin. So I'll go with that. Energy projection. Deathstroke likes to use lots of things at distance. However, he's taken on somebody who is every bit the skilled marksman as Crossbones, as Hawkeye. And if you're as good as Hawkeye, you're as good as Green Arrow. And if you can watch somebody do any sort of ranged attack, either throwing it or, this person, Taskmaster has duplicated what Bullseye can do. So energy efficiency or distance, that has to go Taskmaster. So now we're down to versatility and X factor. Versatility in this one, you've got a guy who's studied every single move in Taskmaster versus a guy who's got, enhanced immunities, enhanced regenerative abilities, enhanced speed, enhanced everything, and a really, really powerful mind. Versus a guy who anything he sees done, he can duplicate. As long as it regards to, he can't throw a car. He's not going to be able to swing Mjolnir there and like smash a building. But he can do everything just shy of that. I'm going to have to give, so you've got somebody who's got a wealth of abilities in military training and gadgets versus a guy who can copy anything that he sees as a physical ability. Anything. Diving, running, parkour. Just almost off that set alone, I have to give it to Taskmaster. You got a guy who's got a phenomenal amount of skills, but you got a guy who can duplicate any physical skill below superhuman ability. Now, comes out to that all-important X factor. Who do I think is going to have a better chance or better opportunity when it comes to defeating their opponent? While Taskmaster can copy anything, Deathstroke can think up of almost anything. So you've got somebody who's got the ability to copy and can wield all those abilities into, a fantastic array of fighting versus a guy he's just like one step ahead of you a whole fight. So if you're trying to copy and trying to control a fight, another person's just going nuts and is figuring out exactly what he needs to do to defeat you, this one has to go to Deathstroke. Deathstroke just got so much in the way of abilities and natural enhancements, military level enhancements, that give him just enough of an edge to beat somebody who can copy anything you can do. So copying the moves of somebody or somebody who can come up with ridiculously original moves, it's going to actually come down to Deathstroke. This again, much of the fight between Bane and Crossbones, will be a ridiculously close fight. But at the end, you've got somebody who's got peak human conditioning and photographic reflexes versus somebody who's got enhanced speed, enhanced strength, enhanced stamina, regenerative abilities. It's someone who is at peak level human condition versus somebody who is at, the low level of metahuman conditioning. And with that, Deathstroke takes it.